Chapter 15 of the Tale of Daddy Longlegs. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. This reading by Lucy Burgoyne. The Tale of Daddy Longlegs by Arthur Scott Bailey. Chapter 15. A Call on a Neighbour. Daddy Longlegs was delighted to be at home again, and Mr. Chippy, as well as other neighbours, remarked that they had never seen him so happy and cheerful. Perhaps one reason for Daddy's good spirits was the fact that the wind no longer blew, and he could venture abroad without being buffeted about. He was so relieved by the change in the weather that it seemed to him there could be no danger anywhere. Little did Daddy Longlegs dream that a great army was even then making plans to capture him, and still less did he imagine that he was going to meet with a real adventure before the day was gone. Daddy Longlegs had so many pleasant ideas in his head that there was no room in it for any thought of danger. He had found that his neighbors considered him a hero, because he had ridden in Farmer Green's wagon. A good many of Daddy's friends rushed at once to the stone wall to talk with him as soon as they heard the news, and naturally he began to feel quite important. "Weren't you frightened?" people asked him. "Weren't you afraid that the horse would run away?" "Oh, no! I wasn't the least bit scared, though I admit it was a dangerous feat," Daddy Longlegs told them. Then he would strut and swagger about, trying to appear as if there wasn't a braver person than he in all Pleasant Valley. And he talked about his wild ride to everybody that would listen to him. At first Daddy's friends enjoyed hearing about his adventure. But he boasted so much about his bravery that his listeners soon grew tired of hearing him talk. And instead of his having many callers, it was not long before Daddy Longlegs found that nobody came near him, even to say howdy do. He endured his loneliness as long as he could, though he found it hard not to talk when he had so much to say. And feeling, at last, that he was in danger of choking over the babble that surged up from within him, Daddy Longlegs decided that he would go and call on Rusty Wren, who lived in the cherry tree near Farmer Green's bedroom window. "Rusty will be glad to know of my ride in the wagon," Daddy thought. "And besides, I'd like to hear about his cousin's party, which I missed on account of the big wind." So off Daddy Longlegs started, the moment the idea popped into his head. He was the least bit uneasy, perhaps, for fear Rusty Wren might not be at home, in which case he would have nobody to talk to except Rusty's wife. And everybody knew that she was a person of uncertain temper. But Daddy found Rusty perched on the tin roof of his house. His house was made of a maple syrup can. And the first thing that Daddy Longlegs said to him was this: "Is your wife at home?" That may seem a strange question, but Rusty Wren appeared to know what his caller meant. Anyhow, Rusty said "No" in such a cheerful tone that Daddy Longlegs knew they could have a good chat without being disturbed. Chapter 16.